Hey folks, Randy here doing cut and trim. So I had something happen to me today that I've never had happen before, and I asked around, and none of the guys that I work with or know in the industry have had this happen before. And it led to a massive pain in the butt for me that my mower broke down for about an hour and a half on a customer's property. And that is the belt that goes from the engine to the hydros skipped off. It had to be put back on, and hold on, I'm mowing, going about my business, not bothering anybody, just mowing some grass, and all of a sudden the mower just stops, and I discover that the belt's no longer on the hydros. I start poking around and I look and see that. Now, access to the hydros is insane on this machine. Because basically, you can reach in here and touch the belt. You can kind of reach in here and do nothing. There's no clearance underneath there where you could reach up in there. And it's the same way on the other side. And so, basically, everything has to be done from underneath. And when I say from underneath, I mean like, you gotta lift the mower up and do all your work with the mower up in the air with you just completely under the machine. And I eventually got the customer's help, but for the first hour or so that I was on the property, like, this is how I was working on it. And I'm not joking. Just watch this. I had to work on it. I had to see what was going on. So in order to do that, lift her up like that. And get to work. So I'm fiddling with belts like this while holding the thing up with my other hand. It was insane. It was extremely frustrating. Hold on. Now I looked online, I was looking on YouTube to see if there were any videos on how to get that belt back on in the field. There's 2 videos on how to do it with a old Skag, which actually looks very easy. But the rest of the videos had nothing to do with it. My videos came up. Like, I had 5 or 6 videos that come up in the search results for replace hydro belt on walk behind. Like, my videos come up, and I've never done it before. So I wanted to kind of show you what I did. So hopefully it'll be helpful, and I'm going to see if I can find a better way to do this, because this was just an insane job. One thing that definitely would have made it a lot easier is to have something to hold it up so that I wasn't having to hold it up. That'll have to do. Okay, so if we were to get down here, so hopefully you can see that. So the key to making this misery work is you got the tensioner right there. You'll be able to see that. So that's the tensioner right there. It is very tight. And the key to getting the belt back on is to loosen the tensioner. So you loosen it there. It's going to be a bear to get back on. That was the hardest part of this whole job. But you're not getting the belt back on with that tensioner on. I think the easiest way to get the tensioner off probably would have been to unscrew it. But honestly, I didn't have tools in the field that I could get it done with. It was on there tight. But basically, you got the belt that goes up here, over top. It goes over top of the blade belt. So there's that pulley, and then there's this tensioner pulley. And so you want the belt to go on this side of the tensioner, and then it goes on the outside of either of the wheel motors that are in the back. As far as I can tell, the wheel motors, you need to put the belt on the wheel motors first. So unhook this, put the belt on the wheel motors first, then put the belt on the engine pulley up here, then hook it onto the idler, and then reconnect all this. Now this was a nightmare. What I ended up doing was I ended up taking some trim line, wrapping it around that hook, and then pulling it, wrapping it around a ratchet strap, and hooking the ratchet strap to the front of the mower, ratchet strapping this all the way forward, so until I was able to kind of hook it on, and then just, you know, spent 20 minutes trying to get lucky. Eventually it worked. But I even had at one point when I loosened the tensioner so that I could, you know, get the tensioner pulley to move, this spring actually flew back and was just sitting on top of one of the wheel motors. It was a nightmare. It literally took me an hour and a half. Now you might be wondering, how do you get the belt on the wheel motor? So I'm just going to tell you, dude, there's a lot of luck involved in this job. So to access in order to get the belt on the wheel motors, basically what you got to do is you got to take the cover off, reach down underneath, grab the belt and just start pushing it, and then ow, that hurt, and then periodically come over here and see how you're looking. I do think a good set of automotive picks, I don't know what else to call them, I think a good set of automotive picks would do wonders for this job, because I mean it's just trying to do this, it's just insane. I mean, there's no clearance at all. I mean there's just none. I mean that's your access, that right here, and I don't know what you're supposed to be able to access from this. I don't know. So it legit took me every bit of an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes to get that belt back on. And you know, it's on now, it's working fine. I am terrified to use it now. You know, at a minimum I have to make sure I have all the tools necessary with me, because, you know, there's no pushing the mower back on the truck. It's too heavy. So I don't know, man. This is something else. If you guys have any tips for how to handle this, I would really appreciate hearing it. Leave in the comment section below, because man, it has kicked my butt. It really kicked my butt. So it's Randy with Doing Cut and Trim. Have a good day.